the link.
Tweet something out for us to share.
What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. We have Liam Murphy. We have Jacob Sanderson. We have a $2,000 team here in the FFPC. It's a managed league, 20 rounds. I believe 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, a tight end. It's tight end premium, 2 flex, kicker defense, 10 bench spots from the 10 spot here. How is everybody doing? It was a little bit hectic there. We were talking some strategy behind the scenes, but we're here. We have it up. Kelsey first up. I'll give you a link in a second here, Liam. I know you want to.
No, Ron. Are you the one driving for us, quote unquote? Like you're going to be clicking names?
Yeah, but I just have it. I just have it sharing this screen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, but the way we're going to have to talk about players is like we're going to put them in the queue and be like, I want this guy, I want that guy.
Yep.
For later.
Yeah, that's the number 104 spot just had the day of their life.
Yeah, that's real nice.
Wow, Jamar Chase at 4. God damn.
Hopefully, we need people to not do anything crazy in the middle of round 2 because like you get Chase at 4, that has potential to be a really unique and dangerous start. But yeah, I'm pumped to answer your question. This is super exciting.
Yeah, I should have done a better job of queuing you guys up here.
Living in the 350s. And I don't have to do this one at 1 a.m. streaming in from Belfast. I actually have like some energy this time. So this is better than our last draft already.
Hell yeah.
You're an absolute trooper.
Well, there goes that dream.
That was never happening, sadly.
We just want to keep an eye on like who the RB boomers are in our draft. For anyone out there who's not drafted on the FFPC, you get a lot of draft to draft variants. Some people want to smash the flex with running backs.
So
that's
far,
not our
side
plan.
of the 101. Everything has been very chalky, but everybody since has been pretty standard.
We got Henry Muto in here. What's going on, fellas? We got heads in here. Jacob Sanderson content. We got a
Nick Chubb. Okay, that's what we want to see. There's our boomer.
Yeah, that's a fill the flex with running back type of guy.
Okay, well that locks us into one of the
I have one
guys that we said we're taking.
What is my webcam doing? It has like I just got this new webcam. It has AI tech. It just zoomed in on the bobblehead.
Why do you have an AI tech webcam?
I don't know, man. My webcam crashed. Luckily, it was the Matthew Berry said he was going to come on the channel next week, which I'll believe it when I see it. But I know, right? Like coming on a small channel, but it's loving the Phillip Rivers bobblehead. Or no, it's
that's perfect, dude. Dude, this guy needs to make this pick, and please.
This is like crazy. I mean, I'm honestly ambivalent because I don't want the guy that you guys want, so I'm hoping that he does it. Yeah.
All right, so probably Diggs.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, he's my 106 in regular
podium for Stephon Diggs. Yeah. I'm so much happier with Diggs and Bijan Robinson.
Dude,
infinitely.
What I would do for a 110 Bijan. Holy hell.
What's the Bijan thing? Like, why it's the whole
Jacob, you got to explain to me what's not the Bijan thing.
Yeah, Jacob, it's Robinson. Generational prospect. That was
promised. I'm tired of all the pessimism on Bijan Robinson.
He's like great. He's good, but there's like a million running backs who project better than him that I can just draft in round 2 who play better.
We're not pure projections over here.
We're drafting the early guys for the upside, and Bijan might be the best dude in the NFL right now in a landscape
Tony
of
Pollard
running backs where they all suck.
NFL. He's gonna outscore him.
Dude, Bijan might be better, dude. Bijan's like literally he's the prince who was promised. He's big, he's fast, he's strong.
Bijan gets to play Panthers, Colts, Bears when all the money is decided.
Rattle off the playoff matchups.
Pretty nice.
He already had a 60% route participation in the week 2 preseason. Dude, he's catching passes. He's running.
I don't think he's a scrub. I'm not saying like, oh, he's Tyler Allgeier's backup. I'm not being goofy.
But what if
he's in the mix for RB1 this year?
Of course he could be the RB1 overall. We're literally his ADP is RB3 overall. It would not he better have a chance.
But how are we dragging our feet at 10? We can't be dragging our feet at 10.
I mean, I think he's the 4th most likely person to be the RB1 overall. Great.
I would put him at. I would tie him with. For me, it goes like CMC, Bijan's in the mix, and then I'm gonna Tony Pollard's in the mix for me.
Let's go Pollard.
I would be happy with either of these. Like Pollard is my dream pick here, but I know we talked about the receivers.
I'm very happy for Pollard or Wilson. Ron, you're the Jets fan, man.
Can we get Pollard?
About...
I'm voting for Pollard, but
I
I'm
want
happy
Pollard
with
bad,
Wilson.
fellas.
You want
Let's
Pollard?
do Pollard then. I love Pollard.
Oh my god, my heart. Yes,
Dude. Early
Or
two
Vincent
Pollard in
Matthews.
an FFPC room feels fantastic. I love Wilson, but like he's somebody that in like boomer rooms he'll come like middle second. I think the days like I've seen Pollard in these rooms go like 110, 19.
Ron, you're kind of a boomer. Like you broke the tide of Pollard over Wilson. You really wanted Bijan over Diggs.
Jacob, how old are you, brother? I touted Mike Williams, and you go, "That's a boomer wide receiver," which is not even like a term, you know, like a Juju Smith-Schuster. That's a boomer wide receiver.
Boomer wide receiver.
No, but with
Mike
Chubb
Williams
at
is
the
the guy,
108,
like, you start running back, and then you're just like, oh man, I gotta get myself some routes. I gotta draft Christian Kirk and Mike Williams. Like that's the boomer move.
The issue that I'm having this year,
but the Chargers are going to be like the top offense, you know, like it's not like boomer to target like an electric offense.
I do have a lot of Mike Williams. But fourth round, I'm sort of chilling on that. I did see Jacob. I saw you sort of I saw your rankings update. It seemed like you cooled off on Mike Williams ever so slightly. Like it felt like you sort of pushed him up a good bit because of you checked at projections, and then he's still decently high up, but it felt like you moved him down slightly. Maybe I'm bugging though.
I can't. I don't have like track changes, so I can't recall if I moved him down. I don't think I moved him down much. I still have him at. Well, I have him higher in best ball. I think one thing is I when I made my first rankings, I didn't like peruse the seasonal ADP all that well.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize initially like how much lower his value was in NFC and FFPC versus underdog.
Yep.
So I moved him down a little bit in the seasonal ranks. I think my best ball ranks, he's still where he is. I like Mike Williams fine. I'm like making fun of him, but to me, he's like the exact same bet as like Amari Cooper, but cheaper.
Yeah. I've been trying to find where I'd be comfortable, like, because I have guys who will take my rankings from a home league perspective, and if you have Mike Williams as like your 410 in your rankings, like in a home league, you'll probably get Mike Williams in every draft,
right?
And that's like probably not great.
I have Mike Williams at my 504 in FFPC. So obviously, if he is there for us at the 5-6 turn, I can't be upset about it.
I'm trying to the 4-5 turn's been so ugly recently. Like I mean, okay, so we're not going to have to deal with the 4-5 turn.
Guys, who do you think this is? Who do you think this is?
Is that Tony Romo?
No, he has a Chargers jersey on. Number 7.
I thought you said it was Rivers.
It's not Rivers.
Is that a Chargers jersey on? Is that Doug Flutie?
It is Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie.
Nice.
Huh.
You know, as a Bills fan, I was a big Doug Flutie's fan. As a
Doug Flutie was the man.
As a Canadian, I'm a big Doug Flutie fan. CFL legend.
Small boy, right?
No, but with the 108 going Chubb, it feels real nice to get Pollard because you like that dude for sure is going running back at the 3-8, and you don't want to get buried.
Someone said Easton.
Jay asked, "Will our 3-4 turn be wide receiver?" And my answer is not on my watch.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah,
it depends who it is.
Wide receiver
Jay.
Sucks. It's actually we're in a pretty crazy spot because 3-4 turn wide receivers suck, and I'm also starting to think that round 4-5 wide receivers suck too.
Right. So you got who are you trying to start as your wide receivers too? You're not trying to start Mike Williams. You're not trying to start these guys. Are you trying to start like Romeo Dobbs and gang?
I would start a 5'10" Mike Williams at wide receiver too. That's perfect.
No, of course. Like, but 4-5, like once like Moore, Watson, London are off the board, like, and you're looking at like Hopkins, Mike Williams.
You just threw DJ
Josh Allen
4-5.
You just tried to sneak DJ Moore into that conversation.
I like DJ. I like DJ Moore. I know the sharps, but I'm saying, okay, so if you don't like DJ Moore, like I guess in home leagues you'll get a Christian Watson, London to fall there, but in like a sharp league, like London, Watson are gone.
Well, I don't have these concerns wrong because I don't draft Bijan Robinson, so I always have 2 wide receivers for 2.
Oh, so you just take running back here. But here's the thing: if Brees and Etienne aren't there, like it gets tough, dude. You're staring down like. Are you taking 4-5 turn Dobbins at this point?
I'll take not in underdog because I don't need.
No, we're not burning our money here.
I would take.
No, I'm not saying.
I would take Dobbins.
I'm servicing the viewer right now.
I'll take Dobbins absolutely in as high as I need to get him and managed. I mean, I can have. He's my most drafted player on underdog without having to take him outside the 6th. But I'm all in on J.K. Dobbins. Wide receiver wise, like I've just been I just don't click the round 1 running backs really, or the 2 running backs except for Pollard. So like if I just go through my exposures, like Christian McCaffrey, I think I have like 2%. Eckler, I have like 3%. Bijan 4%. Chubb 3%. I'm underweight Barkley, underweight Henry. So like all my running back exposure is Taylor, Jacobs, Gibbs, Ramondre. Not even really Ramondre until recently. Etienne, Hall, Dobbins. Like that's just where I'm living in the running back range. So I don't really click a lot of these wide receivers.
By the way, it's nice to see that these quarterbacks are flying off the board. It could push some skill talent down to us.
Man, Gibbs is never going
Chris
to make
Olave
it
at
to
the
me
302.
ever, man.
That's something. Man, what a nice life.
You said you have a
I'm
fourth
officially
in an
afraid of
FFPC,
Team
dude?
4. Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Let's have the TJ Hawkinson discussion. Are we out at the 3-4 or not? I'm a Hawkinson guy. I was drafting him in regular PPR, so on a tight end premium, it seems prudent to still do that.
I'm not a Hawk guy, but I
What's
can't
not
imagine
like
that
9 targets a game, has a full off season.
No,
it's
they
contract
threw 35 passes a game after he got there. Like all of his targets per outrun stuff was still the same as it was in Detroit. He went up by like half a point. They're not going to be throwing 45 times per game.
Don't we think that teams are going to try to do what the Giants did and like bracket Jefferson and be like,
God,
have other okay,
Addison. Yeah. If he was somehow there at like our 4-3, I'd be like, okay. Like,
let me try again. How do we feel about Joe Mixon? Let's see if we get Joe Mixon drafted.
I don't know.
Yeah, we need. Yeah, come on.
Okay,
if anyone's watching, we
let
really
me
want
try
Joe
again.
Mixon. You
What's
need
not to like?
draft Joe Mixon.
You got me for
running back of the Bengals.
Let me try a verse here. Man, I really hope Najee Harris gets back to us. You just need to have that RB1 volume.
I'm trying to think.
I'm building this queue out for us. How do we feel about the order of players here?
I'm gonna put more guys in this queue here too. Okay.
Can someone just take Jacobs? I've had enough of fucking Josh Jacobs. Like I have so my bags are packed on Josh Jacobs.
He's like kind of a smash if he makes it
insane.
I think he's an insane smash. He's like my favorite pick.
Dude, I have a 5th round NFC Josh Jacobs.
That's actually like
this is the main event though, Ron. This is your first main. We're gonna sun run $1 million right here. We're all gonna fly out to New York to watch Week 17 together. This is different. This is the big stakes.
That'd be great.
This is we're seeing get your guy season here with like Josh Allen, CMC, just vibing that out, you know.
I will say,
do you think our 8 drafter is gonna do like? This is the thing that I don't understand about the running back.
He's drafting Joe Mixon 100%.
Okay, so if he does that, I respect him. But if he's just like, I didn't draft Diggs or Amon-Ra or Devontae Adams, I went running back, and now I'm going to draft like fucking it's usually Jerry Jeudy, but I guess you can't draft him anymore. So like whatever the fuck wide receiver, then I'm just like, what are you trying to do?
He's drafting Joe or Josh Jacobs.
Take Jacobs, man.
Joe Burrow. All right, my man's out here.
What is that?
He's setting up the Joe Mixon stack.
Baby. Something to note is Lamar won't make it to us after the Andrews guy.
I kind of want to go.
We were ever talking about
I kind of want to go the wide receiver because I think one of these running backs will make it back, but like it's hard to pass up the value of a Jacobs.
So I agree that I think one of these running backs will make it back. But my answer to that would be not the wide receiver. It would be the other position.
DK Metcalf gets to play Eagles, Titans, Steelers in the playoffs. Steelers always try to play man D. He's dropping 30 on them minimum.
But he's going to be the second best wide receiver on his team for those weeks.
I'm okay to go RB. Okay, Metcalf goes. I vote Jacobs.
I vote Jackson.
If you were only doing one draft this year, would you vote Jackson, or is this you having too much Jacobs elsewhere?
I have them on the same tier. I have it. I like the idea. I don't have Jacobs, Ramondre, Brees, I don't have them separated by a ton.
My only take for Jackson is I would prefer to have him and 1 running back than 2 running backs, and we're not getting Jackson in the 4th because the Andrews guy is going to take him, but we're probably going to get one of the 3 running backs.
Yeah, I think there's a chance that like
going 3 running backs and stopping at running back is kind of tempting. I'm okay with either. I vote
I think my vote's Lamar.
I'm okay with Lamar.
Let's go Lamar. You can get it's pretty crazy on these turns too. You can get locked out of QB bad. I've had some tilting experiences on here.
I don't think that's possible to manage with just the ability to platoon it, but
you've seen it.
I want a Lamar team anyway, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you want a Lamar team.
And it really comes down to is like, how do you view Jacobs versus Ramondre versus ETN? Like, how big of a tier do you view those guys, or do you view them the same? Because they're pretty similar.
I like Ramondre the most. I like Jacobs pretty much equally. And I don't like ETN as much as either of them, but I still like them quite a bit.
In terms of ADP, I can give you their ADP. Jacobs is like a mid. There goes Jacobs. Yeah, Jacobs is like a mid third. Ramondre goes at 312, and then ETN's more like a mid fourth. In a perfect world, this is Ramondre. If I'm being real,
I would be so
game theory wise for anyone doing a main event. Waller used to be available in the 5th round. I think he's a tough click in the 3rd. I like Waller a lot, but
how many teams make the sprint again?
1 to 2 per league. There's 4,200. Right. It's gonna overlay. It sounds like by like 30.
Right, but like I'm saying, like how many total? Because that affects to me like how much I get scared about the closing line value effect.
I get what you're saying.
Like, because how many? There's not that many teams that have 5th round Waller, but like obviously most of the teams with 5th round Waller still aren't advancing. So it doesn't concern me too much. I feel it more on a personal level. Like it's like I have a lot of cheap Waller across my whole portfolio, so I feel like would rather not just like keep taking up risk chasing this guy up the board when I already am going to benefit if he has a good season. Oh,
I mean, it's ETN or Christian Watson for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be that upset about Christian Watson. I probably like ETN the most, but and I'd also,
any love for Brees over ETN or no?
I don't want to do
Brees gets back. Yeah, that's fine. Brees could get back to us.
He could make a strong
take here. Let's do ETN then. I'm fine with that.
Sure, I'm fine with ETN.
I've been taking a lot of Ramondre over ETN, and I view them like kind of similarly. So it's kind of nice to get an ETN in a high stakes because, I mean, I just prefer to play the Jags through the air for a team that like, you know, ETN's competing for touches with Ridley, with Kirk, with Zay Jones, with Ingram, whereas Ramondre's competing for touches with like Devontae Parker, you know, and gang.
Right.
So that's why I side with Ramondre more too. But it's not impossible ETN on the better offense just like houses a bunch of touchdowns, especially in the sprint.
Yeah, I like ETN. I like them both. I think that like Ramondre going ahead is correct. Like I like Ramondre more, but
I gotta get this camera figured out tomorrow. I literally just plug it in here. The zooming.
I think that like I think we might feel a little bit queasy right now about one wide receiver through 4, but my experience in every FFPC draft
I've Mixon goes
is that we are going to love our life at the end of round 8. Like we're going to be swimming in Addisons and Johnstons and Mike Williamses and Batemans and whoever the fuck else we want.
You know, I feel fine about this.
Do I know teammate or do I know teammate? Got to set up that Joe Burrow.
Teammate is on one. They got that Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon stack. They're setting it up.
To Mixon.
Next level thinking. Like you were saying, they might take Mixon in the 3rd. They're like,
he's hitting with 4D.
I need to make sure I set up my stack.
See Herbert.
You never know when the CeeDee Lamb Andrews drafter will go with Joe Burrow over Lamar. So with Lamar, I do want to reach half round on 2 of his wide receivers minimum because
I'm totally fine with that.
Like I have a lean of how it will play out, but I think anyone who says they know for certain how it's going to play out with the wideouts is playing a guessing game.
Yeah, my only take is I like them. Well, I'm fine with Odell. I love Bateman at cost. Like he's my favorite in a vacuum, and he's not the most expensive. So obviously, I love him at cost. And I'm totally fine with Zay at cost, especially stack.
That's how I feel as well.
All 3 I'm okay with, depending how cheap Odell is.
Odell's ADP right now is 10th.
I get more excited about Odell in best ball than in manage, but I could see this being an Odell team because like the way we started and the way that we draft, smart guy. The way that we started and the way that we draft, I just picture us like probably taking one or two wide receivers that don't project well early in the season, like either taking one of these injured guys or taking one of the rookies or whatever, and then Odell actually has value on that team.
Yeah, I like likely late too.
I don't, but he's fine on like if Andrews gets hurt.
I feel like he's almost a handcuff in a way.
I don't like him in best ball.
My issue, I actually don't mind him that much in best ball. I don't like him in managed because like what I'm promising you is going to happen is that the bye weeks are going to hit. We're going to cut Isaiah Likely. Then the Andrews injury is going to happen after we've already cut him, and we're going to try and bid $500 to get Isaiah Likely back.
That's fair.
No, we are not.
But you agree with the other 80% of that, Liam, until the bid $500. Like that's what's happening.
Right? I agree. He
cut him, and then he's going to get hurt.
Start.
Well, I think it's easy to know when to start. You start him if Mark Andrews is hurt.
No, but what I'm saying is like everyone's thinking that, but I'm not so certain it would play out that way if all the wideouts are healthy. Like I think the way to play the Ravens could just be through Lamar, and like yeah, they're all going to have their own weekly ceilings for best ball, but they could all be frustrating managed starts. You know, just trying to guess like who gets what.
Just a PSA to the audience, if you will. This is a FFPC main event. It's like $2,000 buy-in, which is ridiculous. We split it 3 ways. Kelsey went number 1 because it's tight end premium. So the tight ends get 1.5 PPR. So you'll see, you know, all of these tight ends get pushed up. 3rd round, Darren Waller. Do you guys have a take on like if Judy got to a certain spot where you'd be interested?
I don't draft Judy at all, but with the ankle injury, I'm more prone to draft him. I just think the Broncos could be like a disaster, man.
It would need to be a big fall for me. Like I just do this basically once Ridley goes, or well, in this case, it was once T. Higgins goes. But whenever the last of that group goes, I think it's so fucking flat for the next like 25 wide receivers that I have no interest in taking the guy who's already injured.
Yeah. So similar feeling with McLaurin.
Exactly. Like I'm a little bit more. I'm most inclined to take JSN if I'm taking any.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, where do we like JSN at this point? Like he was.
I don't think we like him at the 7-10.
No, Ron and I already had a 7-10 JSN before he got hurt, and it was only like a week ago. So clicking him at the 5-6 seems.
Yeah, I agree.
I am going to put in this guy on the bottom here that I just put in the bottom of the queue is definitely a dude I want a share of. And recent reports have been like, I don't think here is the round to do it, but
dude, I do sick and twisted things for the guy I'm about to put in there. Freaking please.
How are we feeling about
guys
this?
I want.
Queue.
Like the guy I just put at the top of the queue. Like I'd be fine.
I'm gonna add some more names to the queue that I like.
There's Mike Dub.
More than most of your names.
I put one singular name at the top.
Yeah, I'm with Ron for that pick.
Why can't I add this guy to the queue?
I do sick and twisted things.
It might be 10 max in the queue.
I don't think he makes past 8.
Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. Well, then I'll just bring him up if it comes to that. Let's see here. Yeah, we have a lot of options. Oh, I'm going to add him now. Some of our guys are gone.
Yeah, like it's not the worst. Like having Diggs lock down one of our wide receiver spots. For anyone who doesn't know, this is you only need 2 wide receivers, and there's 2 flexes. So it's like we're going to figure out that second wide receiver spot. We're going to draft better than other people in the later rounds if we need to go by a volume approach for a wide receiver 2. That being said, are we all okay? Sorry, Ron?
Have some humility.
Well, I just feel so confident in you guys, Ron.
Okay. Yeah, and we got.
I would say.
By the way, guys, like backstage, Ron had this stream where Jacob and I could not see each other's faces, and he's like, "All right, guys, we're gonna go live, right?" And Jacob and I were like,
"I didn't know you guys could see."
Not.
I didn't know.
To me, the top 3 names in your queue are a cut above the rest.
Yep. And we are
I like Kirk.
After that,
I think Kirk makes a lot of sense on this
super
team.
not into Kirk.
With
he's not even
ETN,
running
maybe not as much.
He's not even playing in 12
Damn.
personnel.
Of course, the high T guy gets the.
Like he literally might not even outscore Zay Jones.
What's number 9 about to do here? So I'll do
I'm gonna put my favorite in the well, not over Brees. That I didn't mean that, but of the receivers, that would be the guy. 2 guys actually. Man, this is gonna be a robust fucking team.
Come on, I love it.
That's fine.
I slightly regret the Pollard pick. If we do get Brees here, but it's fine.
That's a good point. Come on now.
The thing.
I think he's gonna do it, bro. I really do.
Like Terry or Judy is again the sprint up. Like
wow.
All right.
Okay. So this is Brees.
Yeah,
I think we just gotta do it. We just gotta do this. Let's just be robust, Dylan.
And I literally don't think we need another running back for like many rounds
ever.
Like we could literally roll with 3 this year.
Right. Like maybe we can take max 1. Like go to your optimizer and set max 1 running back for the rest of the draft.
But the thing with Terry,
how is this my life? I was thinking about Brees at the ETN spot.
I would have been fine with it. The last thing, that's 2 straight drafts.
W's in the chat.
We passed on Brees at the 4-3, and then we've got him at the 5-10.
Yeah.
One thing I'd say really quick, even though I really like the tight end in our queue, and he will almost definitely be there because of Andrews and Waller being on here.
I don't want to go
based on the way we structured our team. I'm actually okay not to. We're gonna have so many picks to play with late because of the running backs that I'm okay like making this a big tight end thing where we just go tight end.
Yeah, like what I said like in the messages, we're like hitting some of those guys and just like trying to build a super team here because I really think trying to take like wide receiver really dries up. So I mean, okay, Kirk goes, so we don't even need to talk about it.
That's happened a lot for me today. I've really enjoyed that. Liam brings up some player I hate, and they immediately get taken.
I don't really want to go Terry with like uncertainty for week 1.
Terry is nowhere close to the consideration for me.
I don't want to go Terry either.
I could name 10 wide receivers I want more than Terry.
I'm Ayuk over Deontay Johnson.
I've gotten my way a lot tonight, so I'm not going to push back on that too hard.
Ron, how are you feeling that?
I don't know. We're 100% team not Pitts here. I understand the thought process.
I don't want Pitts. I want to try to build a super team and I think the way to do that is by hitting some of these high upside tight ends with the volume.
What if Pitts is the tight end 1 overall? Then he's on.
Wow, John Dotson goes. I vote for Ayuk or Addison.
I vote for Pitts, but I get I get the reasons why we wouldn't. But
is your vote actually for Pitts?
Yeah,
for Pitts, but I'm kind of
Ayuk.
Well, it's okay. It's tough for me because like he doesn't fit structurally, but I have him ranked like 2 rounds ahead of the wide receivers.
Because I like if I had to go wide receiver here, it'd probably be Deontay Johnson.
If Liam is happier with wide receiver, I'm totally fine with the consensus Deontay.
I think Deontay, I'm like, is he winning us a tournament or is he getting us there? I'm fine with Deontay. I would go Ayuk, but I'm okay
fine
with
Ayuk too.
Let's go Ayuk.
I'm Deontay over Pitts.
Okay, all right.
Let's go Ayuk. I know I really bled that down a little bit.
What's your issue with Pitts, Liam? Because like, man, that guy was so fucking happy we left him Pitts.
I think that I really think that like this year you're going to be able to hit some of those tight ends in rounds like 8, 9, 10, 11 that are going to approach Pitt's numbers. You know,
why can't Pitts approach Kelsey's numbers?
Pitts can't. And I told you guys I have 2 Pitts teams, so like I didn't want to go him, but like I'm not trying. I'm only doing like 4 main events, so I don't care if we go Pitts there.
Yeah, Liam sold me with you're not winning a tournament with Deontay Johnson.
Well, like the thing is, like Deontay might get you to the sprint, right? Like he might give you a bunch of like 15 point per game guys, but like Ayuk, like I don't know, man. Deontay's not catching a 80-yard bomb for you or like taking a slant to the house.
I have both guys.
No,
like
he can have 11 catches for 125 yards and a touchdown.
Sure. Are you guys in on this? Like, are you concerned about Pickett at all?
No, I'm really in on Pickett.
I don't like Pickett.
I'm worried about him. Like he looked good in the preseason
as well, dude.
He looked.
I thought he looked fantastic in the preseason. I thought he played really well at the end of last season.
Well, how good does he need to be, Jacob? Like when you we're obviously like we're not talking. Like I guess like what is his like expectation? Like give me like
how many passing yards? How many touchdowns?
No.
4,200 passing yards and 26 touchdowns.
So like what Geno Smith did, that's like I don't see him being Geno.
Yeah, like this team, like
I
every year since Tomlin's there, they play fast. They usually have a pass rate over expectation. It's pretty high. And I think if Pickett shows that he's serviceable, like say he's like the 18th best quarterback in the league, I think that's how they prefer to play as a team. So I think I'm pretty optimistic that Pickett can do that. I'm very high on their weapons, especially Deontay and Pat Freiermuth. And I don't really like Pickens, but I understand the appeal of him too. And I think he like definitely helps Kenny Pickett from an offense perspective. So I'm very in on the Steelers. Like obviously I don't click Kenny Pickett in a main event, but in best ball, I'm really overweight Pickett. I'm extremely overweight Deontay.
Pickett or Jordan Love?
Pickett for me.
I'm Love.
I think I'm Love too. It's close. Like they're
both
guys.
See, because Green Bay wants to play slow.
How can we say that? Like, how do you know how they want to play? Like that was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers wants to play slow.
But we don't know what Green Bay wants in Tennessee before that. He played super slow.
I'm just like it's not going to be fast, but it's not going to be Rodgers slow, right? Like that
Ingram pick is brutal. I'm just now registering.
Like,
his number 8 spot. Like holy shit, dude! Respect, brother.
Yeah, the Pitts thing. I don't know. The Deontay like versus Ayuk thing, I have like a really soft opinion on. Like I prefer Deontay, but I don't really care much about Ayuk.
How do you view the gap of Deontay and Pickens?
Pretty heavy. Like I think Deontay is like is gonna see the target share you normally see. Like, I think you'll see like a 25% target share. I think Freiermuth is their second leading target.
If one of CMC, Kittle, or Debo got hurt, how much would you move an Ayuk up in your rankings?
Not that much. Like I think I'm kind of drafting him. Like I already have him ranked like well above what I project him for. Right. Like part of what I think what we're doing with Ayuk is we're saying this is like a really good talent, and he's surrounded by all these guys with pretty brittle injury histories, and all it takes is like one gets hurt and we're excited about him, and 2 get hurt and he's a smash, right? But like I think if all of them stay healthy, like I think Deontay's killing him this year. But I think that like the true ceiling of Ayuk, if one of those guys just disappoints and another one gets hurt, like then we're talking about a big breakout.
If we get two of the guys,
how is Ayuk outscoring Kyle Pitts? I guess that's the main thing. Like, how are either of these wide receivers outscoring like a Pitts? I guess unless he's just a disaster.
He just doesn't run routes. Yeah. Which in the preseason game, the usage was rough, but I guess it's also preseason.
He played he came out like halfway through the drive, like, and then I don't know.
I do feel good he's going to be around 1,000 yards. I do question touchdowns. I mean, like looking at the Eagles in the preseason and seeing how bad Mariota was made me like way more bullish on Pitts in London. Was it like I didn't even need to see Ritter play though. Just seeing how bad Mariota was. If we get Dalton Schultz in the 7th is a statement.
Kyle Pitts at 6'4" looks like a pretty good pick.
I mean, if we get 2 of these guys at the top of the queue, I feel really good about it, 2 of the 3, and then like in a dream world we get number 4 at round 9, but I don't think he's going to be
any love
there.
for number 8 I just put in? I mean, if he made it back, like I'm open to it.
I really don't like that player, but yeah, it's not the worst, I guess, at this price.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty absurd price, and I don't think his injury is much to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm also just a value hound and don't even really like the guy, if I'm being completely honest.
I'm not a value hound. I'm gonna fuck about ADP.
I really like the
Scoop it up,
reports
yeah.
on the guy number 1 in the
Spoon
queue are
feed me
getting
value.
like more and more positive.
Oh, you don't ever need to convince me on number 1 in the queue. Number 1 in the queue is my most drafted player in high stakes. He's my 3rd most drafted player in best ball. I'd be very excited. I think I'm just like talking myself off the ledge with this Kyle Pitts thing, but what I will tell myself when I go to sleep tonight is that I have a ton of exposure to Kyle Pitts in teams that are better structured for him, and I don't want.
It just would have felt really disgusting to have one wide receiver through 6 rounds.
That would have been tough. Yeah, I think with the Brees pick, it's like, you know what, we're trying to build a true super team here with smashing wide receiver the next couple rounds and then hitting the upside tight end.
Yeah.
Which sorry, Ron, if I say that, I think we collectively, I believe in us and that we can do that.
Okay, I'm a massive Addison.
All right, I'm Addison too.
I'm also Madison.
No, not
Addison.
Not Madison. Addison.
It's been a long day, fellas.
Well, Madison is God, buddy. That's 2 rounds.
The same guy, same team. All right, so we'll go Addison here.
I'm not even Madison in a fire.
No, I have like Alexander Madison so buried in my rankings where I have Alexander Madison ranked at the 82 overall, which is
nobody clipped me saying that.
Boys, slight little thing here. If we do not, so the 2 ways to qualify for the sprint is total points champion or best record. If you don't, and you're the other top 2 teams, you get in your league playoffs, which would mean that a bunch of our guys have a week 13 bye and are not available for those playoffs. So we would not have Lamar, we would not have Diggs, we would not have Addison.
Oh, okay. That's a little concerning. It's also concerning with the tight end I want to draft.
Well, it's just like I think we just try to build a super team and we figure that out later in the season if we need to, because plan A is just qualify for the sprint.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the play as well.
I think we're plan A team.
Are you guys okay with the second guy in the queue here if the first goes?
I'm not yet. I guess I would say it becomes really hard to justify passing on Pitts for me if we then bail out and take a tight end 2 rounds later when I feel like we're still in the same wide receiver tier.
I just think in like a Dalton Schultz and Freiermuth room that went in the 7th, like value's going to fall and we could cause a panic at tight end.
I get it. I
am number 1 for sure over number 2.
Yeah, I'm also number 3. Well, no, not managed. Oh, and then Evans is gone.
All right, good stuff, brother.
All right, let's just take JSN.
Okay, I'm definitely JSN.
Yeah,
definitely JSN here.
Double rookies here.
Yeah. Don't play around with it.
All right.
Yeah, I like that too.
Okay, this team's coming together here.
I mean, it's nice to like hit the rookies with a robust RB start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Evans went there. Flowers went.
Yeah, like
JSN wasn't there. Pittman was
over?
sexy, bro. Pittman in the 8th round, fellas.
Ew.
Can I interest you in some Michael Pittman?
Would you guys have gone Flowers over JSN?
No.
For the stack?
If you could have talked me into it.
I would have not voted for it, but I wouldn't have like thrown a fit or anything.
Yeah, and that's only because I have a disgusting amount of JSN. Like I think in managed leagues I'm going to end up with like maybe 50% JSN at this point.
I don't have 100% JSN, so I don't have enough.
Just checking out the other teams. Team 7 is going to need to start hitting running backs. Team 4 and Team 3, I'm not going to try to apply logic to a Freiermuth and Schultz going in
7.
Round 7.
Team 7's having a draft.
Oh, team. Wow. Okay, so they're not going running backs.
Yeah, that's the sharps right there.
Never mind. If Swift was on the board there, that would have been egregious.
No, Swift is gone.
Passing on Swift would have been dumb.
I was having a little conversation with myself before Swift went, which was like, will I get booted off the stream if I make a pitch for Swift as our 4th running back? And then I was relieved of having the chance to bring that up.
Yeah, thank God. I like Swift myself as well. Anywhere in the 8th on Swift is crazy.
He's becoming closer to like a priority target for mine in regular best ball now that he's like a 7 and 8.
Well, Swift is the only player whose news has been really, really good, and his price has gone down.
And nobody cares.
People still care about Kenny Gainwell getting the first preseason game off, but if you're not a complete dullard and you read the news, like Swift is clearly in a better spot now than he was 3 weeks ago. Like his most significant competition in the backfield was Rashad Penny, and the arrow is massively down on Penny, and Swift's like a round cheaper.
Yeah, but like I could totally see the Eagles being forward thinking and being like, you know who we don't need to see in the preseason and in training camp? Swift and Penny. And like I could definitely see Penny coming on later in the season when the money is won.
Sure.
And all the news has been positive on Gainwell. So like obviously I'm fine drafting him too.
Sure. Like I'm not burying Penny. Like I'm not in the camp of like he's definitely getting cut. He sucks. He's dust. But
I have a huge bag, so I'm not drafting him now. Like I'm just kind of like waiting.
Just to like if we're just being objective, like the news has not been good for Rashad Penny, right? Like we feel worse about Penny than we did 3 weeks ago. I think by virtue of that, we should feel better about Swift. Like I think because my take on Penny is like coming into the season, we know what he's been, we know he's awesome. We don't really know his health status. He's 27 years old. He has 3 significant leg injuries in 4 years. Like I think it was always pretty in the range of outcomes that he just wasn't healthy. He just wasn't the Penny that we saw. To me, like him having not a good camp and getting caught from behind really easily in that Cleveland game suggests like I don't think he is peak Penny. So if I went from DeAndre Swift is competing with peak Penny to DeAndre Swift is competing with Kenny Gainwell, like I like Swift a lot better in that second scenario.
Swift kind of looked good in those like rushing yards over expected, and I know like those metrics are flawed and stuff, but
I don't think those metrics are super flawed. I think that people read them wrong. Like I think Swift's carries were so tailored to what he does well, and you look deeper into what he did in 2021 when he had more carries, and then you look at like his rush over expectation percentage.
That's an early Warren, man.
I was gonna float him as like our last running back. I took JSN at the 5.6 before the injury, so getting him at the 7.8 feels nice.
I feel like Swift is in an absolute zero between the tackles. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. Like I don't see him that way.
I don't think he's a zero. I just think he's super flawed.
Do you think pure rushing wise, is he a sizable downgrade from Miles Sanders between the tackles?
Yes, I think that he is.
Yeah. Okay.
But it depends on how you define it.
I'm not prepared to say that. Like maybe, you know.
I think it depends on what you value out of a running back. Like I think Swift he's really good at some things at running, and he's really bad at other things. Like he's not going to be. Okay, he's a really bad short yardage back because he doesn't make good decisions and he doesn't diagnose plays well. He's not a natural runner. But if you use him like on outside zones and you use him on stretch plays, use him on tendency breakers out of shotgun when the team has 6 men in the box, like then he's good because he's super explosive. He makes really good cuts in the open field. So I don't think he's like a bad runner, but if you don't use him really intelligently, then he can be a bad runner.
Yeah, I think it's a good take.
I'm sweating so hard. I don't think Team 7's going to let us. Fuck.
Oh. Fuck. I didn't see that coming. I really thought that guy would take a wide receiver.
Yeah.
That dream's dead. Okay. There's lots of.
It feels bad only having one Kincaid share in a season where he could just like become a 3-4 pick next year, you know?
Yeah, I was really excited.
I'm dying to see what 7 does here.
Come back.
Laporta, okay, 9th round.
But there's
Laporta.
a lot of tight ends that I like. You went Sam Laporta there? Wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure out tight end with volume. I don't think I'm pretty strongly not tight end this round. I don't want to like give the other.
I'm not tight end now. Yeah, those were the 2 tight ends I would have been fine with this round.
I'm okay with Charbonnet and being done with running back. I'm really high on Charbonnet and trying to.
I think there's like
It would be
wide
risky
receivers to
to
me
get-
that are. I feel like there's 3 wide receivers left in the wide receiver window for me, and I
agree.
desperately want one of them.
I feel like the wide receiver would make it back to the 10, but I am okay not risking it. The Charbonnet is the only.
I mean, my preference would be 2 wide receivers at the 9-10.
I agree.
All right,
I think in a perfect world,
because JSN, to me, I think if we're thinking about this early season, we need to take JSN out of our minds, right? Like he's not,
Charbonnet could win a tournament to me, but I'm okay going these top 2. Do we want to just play it by ADP?
I'll entertain the Charbonnet conversation a little more at 10.
I think we try and push Bateman to 10, and we take either QJ or Moore.
I'm strongly QJ over Moore.
Okay. Yeah, I like Moore, but I'm fine with QJ.
If you guys like Moore that much,
I think I prefer. I like.
I'd rather go Bateman than Moore and just not risk it. You want to go Bateman and see who makes
11's probably taking 1 wide receiver top. 12's probably
I don't want to
taking
take Bateman. We want to try and push.
They're both very balanced.
I'm actually fine with Bateman.
I vote Bateman and just figuring it out.
I'm also Bateman, and then we're gonna get one of QJ or more.
It would feel real bad not to get Bateman. Let me put it that way.
I agree with that.
You guys.
Bateman is the one I would be most upset if we missed.
All right, we'll go Bateman.
I don't want to roll purely unstacked Lamar. And the 2 dudes in our inside are drafting logical plus balance, so I don't know.
I don't think we're going to see more than 2 wide receivers go to the next 4 picks, and I just don't know that there's a guarantee that they're going to take the 2 wide receivers we like the most.
I don't know, fellas.
I know for sure I do not want Charbonnet to fall to Team 7. You know,
I
see what these boys do.
I have no
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't have an option 3 as a backup plan if the 2 wide receivers are gone. I'll just say that.
I think it's
I'll work on an option 3.
I think it's just the 3rd guy in the queue for us, and
Ew.
Really
I have an option 3, but you guys won't like my option 3.
Where's Elijah Moore? Please, dude. Please, man. There's QJ. Fuck, man.
Yeah, that wasn't ideal.
We weren't going to get Bateman. My option 3 is probably the 4th guy in the queue and just throwing ADP out the window. Who I like more than the 3rd guy in the queue.
You guys were not at all in on Kadarius Toney.
Kadarius Toney. I'm open to Kadarius Toney.
I'm okay with him and managed. I don't draft him a lot. I would vote Odell, but Kadarius Toney is probably a bigger swing upside.
Toney, I think this is such a good team for Toney.
Let's do Toney then.
Pretty attractive price.
I'm okay with Toney.
Okay.
Kind of a hedge on the rest of my bags where I just have 0% of him.
Let's go Toney.
Okay. Yeah, I think people saying that we were for sure not going to get Bateman, or we were sure going to get Bateman. Maybe. Obviously, you never know for sure, but if that drafter is taking Elijah Moore and QJ, to me, if we're profiling him, you're double tapping Elijah Moore, QJ. I don't think that the other wide receiver you're considering is Zay Jones or something. I think that, to me, if he doesn't take Elijah Moore and QJ, then he's either taking Bateman or he's taking a different position. I don't
taking Bateman or Toney to me. Obviously Toney made it back, so There's like, I don't know,
I would be
like a 40% chance Bateman doesn't make it back to us. And then Romeo Dobbs goes in the 10th, which like feels like wide receiver is done, you know?
Yeah, like if we had, I mean, obviously, like if we could like travel into time and like ask Team 12 what would you have done, and they say like we were never taking Rashad Bateman, then obviously I wish we would have taken one of the others and get Bateman. That I would be way, way, way more upset if we didn't. I mean, the other thing is, okay, a lot of people in the chat obviously, I'm sure, see Bateman below those two, and it's a stacking issue. Like I just objectively like Bateman more than the other two. So
in Lamar teams, I draft him here. It's just like pull him up for the stack, you know?
Right. To me, it's not pulling up for the stack. To me, it's just I want Rashad Bateman.
I agree. I agree that I have them all in the same tier. I'm just addicted to the ADP game. But I do think that there's a chance that he wasn't coming back anyways.
I just think when you're so close to the turn, like you don't need to risk it. Plus, like Team 11 did not need to go RB there. It for sure could have gone like he goes QJ and then the 12 hole goes Moore and Bateman, you know?
No, 100%.
It would have been fun to have QJ too, though. Like QJ Bateman, I would have liked more than Bateman Tony, but like, I mean, Tony's really high upside, especially on a year where Kelsey is 34, if he is healthy. I don't love that he's like tweeting at Giants fans, like.
No, I don't love that.
No, he's actually out of his mind.
I refuse to believe that Kadarius Toney's about pick in the 10th round. I don't refuse to believe that he's going to provide us absolutely zero for this team, but I think there's a lot of players that are drafted this round that are going to provide absolutely zero for their teams.
I like the start quite a bit, lads.
Yeah, we made up ground at wide receiver.
For sure. You know, and like,
so what's our week one? So
our week one starting team is like
JSN is not a consideration, and Tony's probably not a consideration.
It's Ayuk and Diggs. Really quickly. It's Ayuk and Diggs.
Oh, we're starting 3 running backs, right?
Yeah.
Ayuk, Diggs, Addison.
Well, we're maybe starting Brees. I don't know what that's looking like.
Right. Okay. So it might be Diggs, Ayuk, Addison, Bateman week one.
This isn't the worst team to throw on some late Chief and Detroit guys in the late rounds who we can then cut. Because again, this is a look ahead format where you get a free look at the Thursday night game and then the waivers happen and then you can remove them from your lineup.
Yeah, I agree. This could be a Richie James team for sure.
Oh yeah. Team Richie James over Justin Ross.
Fine with either, both. I don't know.
I mean, Justin Ross seems like a strong take
between the two.
I
find myself taking both.
I take James in best ball, but I would prefer Ross in managed.
I like that take. I was pretty dismissive of Justin Ross ever being a thing his like rookie year, and then him sticking around, I think, is pretty impressive.
I don't think the Chiefs would have signed him if they didn't plan to like truly give him a shot. You know, like I didn't need to see it. I always believed the thesis, but
he was a dog at Clemson, man.
He could still be cut. He could still be cut for sure.
Yeah.
So I would rather go. I would rather go 1-2. Like I just don't think. I'm not chasing Nico up into the 10th round. Like I was hammering him in the 150s at best ball streets. I know you're a Nico guy, Jacob. I don't think he's a great managed pick.
I think he's a pretty fit for his team.
I don't think this team's gonna need the wide receiver. Like I think we go Odell and then we're going tight end for the next like.
Oh, I'm definitely 2 over Nico.
Yeah,
and I'm both 1 and 2 over Nico, but I don't think there's anybody else that I like more than Nico.
Number 3, I'm really warming to as like, late round winner, who I would also prefer.
I don't know who 3 is. 3 not Nico. Oh, that guy I hate.
I think every report has been incredibly positive.
Yeah, he's just someone like I think we had a sample on, and I think he sucks, and I don't care about the reports.
Okay, that Ron, how are you viewing 3?
I started to draft him more. I wouldn't feel. I mean, geez, dude, the tight ends are freaking rough here, man. Yeah, I mean, I prefer it on the way, leaving instead of coming in. If that
I
makes
would
sense
really like to go 1 and 2 and then get him in the 13th round.
Yeah, I'm never going to be a vote for him, but we're
on a team where you need to swing for upside at tight end. He makes.
I don't think he has upside. I don't think he's an upside play. I think he just is like a bad football player who's going to run 65.
He's a converted wideout. What do you mean? He's.
Right, but he's played in the NFL for a while. Like it's not like he's just like some like.
Were you saying that
Waller
Patterson? It takes some guys.
Waller, it took a long time not to just
throw
an outline in your face.
Okay, but it took him a long time while he was off doing drugs somewhere. But as soon as he got a chance in the NFL,
Jacob, they're having breakfast together.
Oh, what if they're having breakfast together?
I probably
he's never cracked
He's drawing live to be the second target in that team on literally the easiest schedule in the NFL. They have the
probably the 5th target on that team.
Huh?
He's probably the 5th target on that team.
He's drawing live to be the second.
There
he goes.
Thank God. Yeah.
We were talking about Juwan Johnson.
His favorite player in the whole pool.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Fellas, any love for one Jameson Williams?
No, not on this team. I think we really need to start hitting tight end.
He's the last player we want on this team, I think.
Guys, I legitimately feel strong enough at wideout once we get ideally Odell here. If Odell goes,
I prefer number 2 to Odell. Actually,
I would feel
there's only one other wideout. There's only one other wideout to me that I think is a must draft.
I'd rather go Odell because if Bateman gets hurt and Flowers gets hurt or 2 QB, don't ever do that and manage guys.
To me,
I'm Odell.
Okay, well we don't have to use numbers.
I think I'm Odell here
too. Geez. Okay. All right.
I mean, these guys went Waller and Andrews. It doesn't really make sense for them to hit tight end.
Okay,
they need quarterback.
I can't watch these guys take the wide receiver we want again.
Okay, I guess I'm less partial. I'd rather be I'd probably if it were me right now that I have Bateman, I don't really care about Odell. I'd rather be Musgrave Mims.
No, I'd much rather go.
Let's go OBJ. What if OBJ is
I've got my way a lot.
League winner down the stretch?
Yeah, we know they're taking quarterback with one of their picks here.
In a hospital.
This cameraman's outrageous.
I've never wanted anything more than I want Luke Musgrave at this pick.
Hold your breath, Jacob. This is how championships are won.
I'm so anxious.
Kirk Cousins goes. Jerick McKinnon goes.
Please, God.
I think Mims is a bad pick for manage. It's easier if Judy's hurt.
Why is he a bad pick for manage? He's an awesome prospect who goes into a pretty crappy wide receiver room where the only one who's good is hurt.
What would you put the % chance that Russ gets benched this year?
I don't know.
Dude, Liam's been sitting on this freaking Jarrett Stidham take all off season. That Russ
who
isn't
cares?
a lock to play.
It's all coming up Liam, Ron. Judy pulled a hamstring today.
Who cares? If prospect he sucks. If Mims is a fucking superstar, and
I knew exactly where you was going, dude.
But Jarrett Stidham, Jarrett Stidham gave Devontae Adams the best game of his whole season last year.
No, I think Stidham's actually a fine backup, but more I don't know, man. The O-line still looks rough. I don't think Sean Payton's going to work wonders this year. Let's go. Musgrave.
Thank God. All right. That's the best pick of the entire draft.
Hold your breath, Jacob. You just got to hold your breath and have some faith.
Oh, I would have, if we didn't get Musgrave there, the nightmare I would have had about passing on Pitts would have been unending.
All right, I hate to do this, you guys. I'm gonna take a piss real quick. I'll be back.
All right.
Literally.
We have one dude
seconds.
in the chat with us, or one dude in the main event who says, "How do I turn off auto draft?" And then the commissioner goes, "You are not on auto draft," and he goes, "Thanks." So tough competition.
Okay, so we have 6 picks left. We don't need another quarterback probably, unless I don't know, maybe with the week 13 we could, but I just feel like quarterbacks get cut.
I would like to go tight end with like the next 3 to 4 picks.
Yeah, I think like I'm totally fine with like one more running back that I don't even feel like I need it. Team 9 say the best pick the draft.
But Jake, on the running back note, we're putting a lot of I do feel good about some of these guys like Spears and like the guy who I just threw on the bottom of the queue, but really, a lot of these guys, the market just pulls up because they feel better about them. They're not objectively better bets than like a round 20 guy.
To me, like I'm fine with 1 to 2 more running backs with our last 2 picks, and I'm fine with them being like Keontae Ingram, Kyron Williams, Rico Dowdle, Chris Evans, like that kind of group of players.
Yes, like exactly. No, I'm exactly with you.
I want a lot of tight ends. I still probably want a couple more wide receivers. Our receivers are like a lot of fragile.
I think the wide receivers are not going to be that different of a bet in round 18 on the FFPC versus round 13. But tight end will.
I think the rookies are the ones that I'm trying to target.
There's a couple that are of interest.
Tight end will die is the point. And like if we can get these 4 dudes in the queue at tight end, I'd feel great about our hodgepodge collection.
I'm gonna add a couple more tight ends that I like.
Yeah, I was gonna look as well.
At least as much as the guys that you have in the queue.
Ron, what's your read on number 2 here as a
I think the Corey Davis thing is actually a good thing for him. I sort of see I'm trying to think of how to word this in terms of the target tree, but after Garrett Wilson up top, I don't think that like the routes or the targets or whatever Corey Davis was going to be taking up in that offense, I don't think that they just go to like Allen Lazard or anything. I think a lot of the Jets beat reporters, there was a report that came out that they think sort of just like within this offense, it probably funnels more into, like Breece Hall, the running backs in the passing game, and then also the tight ends. I don't think that they're going to now feature the wide receivers as much as maybe they would have liked to.
What about how much CJ Uzomah has been playing in the preseason?
Yeah,
because
that's been a decent amount last season too.
He didn't really play that much last season.
Well, he got hurt a lot, but when he was active, he played more than people remember.
The thing about him is like
the Jets are
listening to Rodgers' conspiracy theories is like going to be in favor.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad that Dulcich just went. That would have been like another upside option.
That would have felt nice. Yeah. I'm Musgrave over Dulcich, but like he is.
Oh, I mean, clearly I was Musgrave over Dulcich. I was praying, but honestly, I would have probably been Dulcich over.
How do you? The Athletic came out with their like 32 beat writers, 32 opinions, and the Broncos guy was about Dulcich, about how he's going to be like all. There's been all this negative Dulcich stuff, but like his report was like he's going to be used all over the field. Could be the third pass catcher.
My bags are packed.
I'm totally like I get that I'm bag defending, but I don't bag defend every one of my takes.
Yes, I'm bag defending. All right.
There's some things I will switch up on. I like legitimately feel like the Dulcich stuff is overblown. Like he ran 61%.
I've been buying the
last preseason game. He was used in the passing situations, and you're always going to see preseason usage lean more towards base sets, right? Like you're going to see teams that are going to line up and they're going to run their base offense and neutral script. Whereas what you're playing on with Dulcich is like as the game develops and they get into more passing situations, he's the guy they have on the field. You're also just buying a talent bet where if he's just really good, then they're just going to give him more snaps. And it's not like Albert O, where it's like he needs to work up, from like 4th on the depth chart. Like Dulcich is going to play. He's going to play 50 to 60% of the routes at the very least. he's going to have a chance to be good on those and then earn more routes. So I agree. Like, I think as he falls, he's a really strong pick.
He's like free falling too. He's not just falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking through it. What the hell we even have? Is Jameson Williams still hanging around?
You gotta let him go, man.
I don't hate him in this and just holding
fine.
him.
I can't. Ron already forced me to take Jameson Williams once. If he seriously makes me take him again, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm just saying he has like a 12th round ADP. Like we punted wide receiver through like 6 rounds.
I really
you and your ADPs, Ronald. Jeez,
dude, I'm a slave.
My dream is that we get 1 and 3 in the queue, both 1 and 3, and I feel like real good about like the upside swings.
Oh yeah.
But I think 3 will be there next round.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3.
I also really like 6, but
sucks.
I think we can get him later.
6 as in he's not someone here.
I'm 2 over 3 for upside, but if we want to play ADP and try to get both, we have to go 2 first.
I guarantee you we're not getting stream sniped. We can just say the name.
Yeah, we're probably not getting stream sniped.
Yeah.
I agree. I like Mingo a lot. I don't really know how you guys
I'd be
feel
very
about Mingo.
into the Mingo pick here.
I think he's a great pick and manage and best ball, but like
I don't think that we're so down bad at, like, don't get me wrong, we're down bad at tight end, but we're
gonna get 4 of them.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of them.
Yeah, but I don't
know. Can I read you off some of these ADPs?
Would be Mingo. My pitch would be Mingo, and then we take 3 straight tight ends.
Okay.
Where are we? If we're gonna do Mingo, we're going Jameson Williams 2, and then we're finishing it out with 5 tight ends.
I kind of love that.
I'm actually fine with that too.
All right, so Mingo over Williams for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Because the thing with Odell is like we're gonna know quick if we're cutting him or keeping him.
Right.
You know?
And Mingo is fun because he's an upside bet, but he's also an early season bet.
So just I want to give you guys an update on these tight ends and what their ADP has been in the last 4 days. Mayer has been 16. Conklin has been 16. Henry has been 15. Hurst 15. McBride.
Hurst is.
I really think you need
McBride
to throw
has
some
been
of that out.
17.
You need to throw some of that out the window though when someone goes Dalton Schultz in the 7th round. You know, it's like
no, that's fair. I'm just
you don't know
throwing
what's
it out there,
on.
just in terms of where these guys have been recently going.
I do feel significantly better about Conklin and Mayer as far as like an upside swing than the rest.
Well, so Hurst is the one that runs 100% of the routes.
But he's also the guy who we comfortably know what he is.
Hurst is so unsexy. I think he makes it back.
But we also know what Tyler Conklin is.
Well, I mean, Tyler Conklin could be the number 2 target for the Jets.
Hurst could be the number 1 target for the Panthers.
Yeah, but I mean, like on an offense that throws for like 1,000 less yards.
Sure.
What I'm looking at here, I like Mayer or Jameson Williams. You could talk.
I'm Jameson Williams here, and we push the tight end.
I kind of love that, Liam. I kind of love that.
All right, so how many? Oh wait, we could take Dawson Knox.
Next round, let's go Jameson Williams. He's going to be there. Knox has an ADP of 220, 262.
Okay, so how many picks do we get that aren't kicker and defense? We get 4 after this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Jameson, 3 tight ends and a running back? Sure. Jameson it is.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams, come on down, baby.
I love it, man. I took him in a main event too, where it's like for the sprint, and we're going to know like 3 weeks after he's suspended whether he.
Yeah, what do you mean we're gonna know? We suspended for 6 weeks. We're gonna know like.
No, we're gonna know if we're in the hunt there, and we don't need to guess what he would have been valued at if he wasn't suspended. He was valued at the 5-6 turn before suspension.
Okay, but not by me.
Okay, but
dude, I kind of love what just happened here.
Yeah, I know. I love this too.
Okay, let me let you out a secret. We already know.
Dude, I don't even have that much Jameson Williams, but like, dude, I'm a hound, man. I'm a hound.
I now have 28. Okay, you tried to hound me the Jameson Williams last draft, and I'm pretty sure we took him.
And then he pulled a
round 10,
hamstring,
and then
now
he fell 4 more rounds. And then we for our next draft, and we take him in the 18th in Vegas.
Yeah.
I am not abandoning Jameson Williams like others. I'm giving him another
abandoning.
year.
When I don't recall ever not abandoning.
It sounds like you don't want. If you're not willing to draft him in the 14th round, you're not drafting him.
Correct.
Yeah, so you're abandoning him. What do you mean? Like,
yeah, actually, I am. No, I'm saying like it's not like I was like I'm into Jameson and then I'm not anymore. I'm just not.
Okay, and I'm just like,
right.
You know, I believe in you, Jacob, but I'm going to side with the NFL franchise sometimes, especially like a sharp NFL franchise, which, okay, yeah, they've done some like boomery things, taking
throw on the highlight tape,
running back and linebacker.
Just throw on the highlights
and like
watch the tape, Jacob.
He passed my eye
watch
test,
the
man.
Tape.
Like
he passed my eye test too.
He passed my eye test, like when he did play those games. He was getting targets. He was like, he's like Hyatt, kind of. You know,
I just say, like, to paraphrase Ben Gratch, Damian Harris the 14th has jumped the shark.
Yeah, Damian Harris in the 14th is
after
wild.
Ty Chandler. What are we doing?
I've been buying the Damian Harris dip.
All right,
I like him a lot better in best ball.
I'll give up the bit. I do too. I'll give up the bit with Jameson Williams. Like whatever, it's around 14. I was fine with it. It reminds me of last year. I was drafting almost all my high 16s with Cam, and I like kept forcing him to take Christian Watson as the price dropped. And he was just like hated it every single time. And then the next time it'd be like his ADP would be 2 rounds lower. And I'd be like, we really got to take Christian Watson. And the next time his ADP would be 2 rounds lower. I'm like, okay, but now can we take Christian Watson? And we ended up with Christian Watson on like all of our teams, and he wanted to murder me. And that worked. So maybe this will be the opposite, where Ron keeps forcing me to take Jameson Williams against my will, and then he's the guy we need.
And it goes down
it's
in the
also
fire.
It's a great metaphor because I too was drafting the hell out of Christian Watson, where like I don't get caught up in this hive mind of like people didn't like his prospect or something, you know.
Oh, my spreadsheets hated him, but it's different. Like my spreadsheets don't like Mingo, but Mingo in the 13th round of redraft versus like 1-2 turn of rookie draft is just 2 different things.
Yeah, and it's like, I want to draft the athletic freak with draft capital on a team that's like has no target competition with Watson.
Right. My thing with Mingo, and it was the same tick I had with Watson, although it actually didn't really come true with Watson because he ended up getting hurt. But like with Mingo, the nice thing is like when you draft Rashee Rice, for instance, you're buying a ticket on the long train because like no one expects Rashee Rice to play that much right away in the season. So if you're buying him, you're stashing him away and you're hoping it grows over the course of the season, but you're never going to know when to cut him. Mingo is going to get snaps immediately. And if in like 3 or 4 weeks, he has like a 12% target share on 80% of the snaps, we can be like, this guy is ass. And then we just cut him and it's over. Yeah. Whereas with Jameson Williams, it's like we literally have to keep this guy on our bench for 6 weeks while he's suspended. And then probably like another 2 or 3 after that to see if he's any good. And so it's like we're 75% of the way to the league playoffs before we have any idea if this guy can play. And then it's like a 90% chance for just cutting. So that's like my concern. I feel like we're like donating a bench spot to draft.
No, but like on this team where you drafted Tony, you've drafted OBJ, like we're gonna have clarity whether we're cutting those dudes or not very early. You know, and if we're not cutting them, it's like we're probably smashing. And if we're not in the mix after week 6, it's like, all right, we weren't. It's not like our who were we going to take in the 14th round that was going to comfortably advance us versus Jameson Williams.
Yeah, to be clear, like I think I'm making maybe more of a case. Like I might just be shadow boxing him. Like I think I'm making more of a case against Jameson Williams generally, and less a case against Jameson Williams specifically in the 14th round of this team.
And on a team where we have gambled on some high upside guys who also like I don't know, like maybe JSN's wrist is worse than we think, and like he doesn't play. You know, like.
We have built the world's greatest. We have built an incredible 0 RB room, but for wide receivers.
Yeah.
We've got our hero wide receiver on Diggs, and then
we have our veteran and Ayuk.
Ayuk is fine. Ayuk is like legitimate, and the rest of these guys are fucking Q tags. Like we got a rookie, third year who is always injured. Legitimate
third year who's always injured.
31st year who's always injured, rookie, and basically a rookie who's suspended.
So I will say the dude I just put first in the queue, like I feel real good as our 4th running back, but that means we won't get 2 tight ends here, which doesn't feel great to me.
Ron, you gotta send. Do you even draft a timeout after that comment? Paul could play 0 snaps this year. First of all, he's literally practicing, so that's not happening. He's literally going to play week 1. And second of all, if Paul plays 0 snaps this year, then we probably lose, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick,
we're not going to plan. We're not going to plan for the world where Breece Hall plays 0 snaps this year.
Right. That was a conversation to have in the 5th round.
Guys, how do we feel about Kendre Miller here and only getting 1 tight end at this pick?
I feel great about it.
Yeah, I think that's probably my lean too.
I feel great about it.
Kendre Miller is ridiculous, man.
Because Luke Musgrave is going to be the tight end 1 overall, so it's fine.
Not sure if I'm quite there on
Luke Musgrave's a golden retriever, man. You need golden retrievers at tight end.
And we're gonna and besides, what's gonna happen is we're gonna draft Kendre Miller, starting Luke Musgrave week 1, because even though he's a rookie, he's literally gonna lead the entire NFL in route share.
I'm Kendre here.
Yeah, Kendre.
I mean, legitimately, we might start Kendre Miller week 2 if he balls out week 1.
It's in the cards.
It is
15th round Kendre.
And then
Kendre Miller is my most owned guy in managed leagues right now, and he just keeps getting cheaper. And I'm just gonna keep taking.
I don't like Jerome Ford over him, Zamir White over him. Like people have. No. What have they done, Jacob?
They've jumped the shark.
The shark.
Jumped it. No, this is all gonna work because you think you need 4 tight ends, but you draft, but you don't, because we're starting Luke Musgrave, and then by week 3 we've caught Kadarius Toney, we've caught Odell Beckham, and we've caught whatever other 3 tight ends we draft, and then we just pick up 5 new tight ends. It'll be great.
Yeah, we'll pick up Daniel Bellinger, who is basically the Giants' Dawson Knox.
True. Yeah.
Is Knox still on the board?
Oh, he still is on the board, isn't he?
He is, but I am number 1. I'm there as far as taking a huge. Damn, Ron, you got the porn bots in here or whatever these are.
Oh, damn. I do. Well, I usually have mods to help me out with these. Ban user and delete their comments. Yeah, get the hell up out of here.
I would vote Mayor here. I feel like he's going to be a much easier start.
I agree.
And then, in a dream world, Knox makes it back to us in the 17th, and he legitimately might. I think I took him in the 17th.
Yeah, I have to. I'm totally fine with
Are you okay with Mayor, Jacob?
Yep, totally.
All right.
Yeah, I love Mayor.
That feels real great, pairing Mayor and Musgrave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boys, we have built a super team.
We've
2 more tight ends, kicker and D. Call it a night.
We've done it.
This is awfully good. If I could even, I would have worries about this team, but I don't, because I can't even envision the possibility that Luke Musgrave is working on anything other than, giving the measurements to Canton for his Hall of Fame jacket at the end of the season.
Why?
I mean,
what's
dude
going
literally
on? What's going on here?
In the main event I did with Davis and Kyle,
Jokers took Hunter Henry over him.
They made me go Hunter Henry over Luke Musgrave, and I've just been peppering them with news, and I hit them with the Luke Musgrave's running end arounds. He got a tight end screen. They are scheming targets to the guy. He's a seam stretcher. Hunter Henry has not run an end around in his life of any snap of professional football.
We wanted to draft Kyle Pitts in the 6th round, but we drafted him in the 12th.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, okay, Pitts is fine. Could Pitts be a league winner? Yes, he could. But I really like how we filled in wide receiver. And if we don't have Ayuk there,
our wide receivers would be so fucking sketchy if we didn't have Ayuk.
Yeah, if we go Pitts over Ayuk, we're are we starting OBJ week 1?
We might be now.
Yeah, we literally might be.
Our week 1 decision is probably pick 2. Well, we're not as. Our week 1 choice is probably pick 2 of Addison, Bateman, OBJ, right?
Well, no, because we're starting 3 running, or unless it's Breece Hall.
Probably
Breece
not
Hall,
week 1.
It's
I don't think we're starting Breece Hall week 1.
Yeah,
Breece Hall against the Bills on 9/11. I don't know.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, that's a hyped up game for the Jets, so that's kind of like a positive for them, like in the Jet Stadium on 9/11.
I think I'm gonna try and get there.
You're gonna go?
I'm a Jersey boy.
Ron, maybe I should fly in, bro.
Dude, I got one buddy. We might splash out on some seats, to be honest.
How much do you think they're gonna be? They're gonna be so much on
a lot, dude.
Opening day.
The goal is to try and get anywhere in the lower section.
Have you been watching Hard Knocks?
Honestly, no. I saw the first episode. The next two I haven't seen.
Conklin's not been in Hard Knocks at like all. And neither was Corey Davis. And like before retirement, I was talking with Hayden Winks. I was like, I don't know, man. Corey, like he's like, you went downs here, like you could have done Corey Davis. I was like, Corey Davis has not been in that Hard Knocks episode. Boom, retired.
I've had a buddy.
Should we be taking CJ Uzuma?
No, my buddy's
he's barely
going to practices this week. Or no, he got tickets for his birthday to go to one, because like now that Aaron Rodgers is there, like all the practices are getting sold out. But he got one ticket and he somehow finessed it into 3 different days of going to camp, where he showed up like a week earlier than his ticket said, and then they just were like, okay, you're out here, then fine, you can come in. But yeah, he's been getting like some exclusive footage. I've been getting some primary resources from him, just showing practice and those boys.
Are you worried about the O-line, and like, do you think it's live that the Jets majorly disappoint, or do you think they are like is an 8-win season with the Cards in a tough division?
Yeah, I think it is, man. It's like, I hate to say it, but it is the Jets, man. Like it could be the Broncos last year. I just sort of learned at this point, like okay, this is loser talk, but like I'm
Jets over Dolphins, I think.
I'm just cool that Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback, man.
It's a lot of fun, man. Like, it's a lot of fun.
Like Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback, dude.
Yeah,
like, that's all I care about. Like at the very least, that's a fact as of right now. So like,
that is a fact.
As a guy, dude, the most I felt good about QB was like Chad Pennington growing up, and like that was like, and he was never even like good, man. Like just that Aaron Rodgers is there. He seems like he hasn't really fallen off. He seems motivated. Like I'm down. I think something that like, and I'm keeping up for them a little bit as a homer. I think people are really underestimating not underestimating the offensive line, but it's not a certainty that's going to be a bad offensive line. You have Elijah Vera Tucker there, who got hurt earlier in the year. Elijah Vera Tucker is like a legitimate, like very, very good, on trajectory of all pro, like interior offensive line that can kick out to the tackles. Mm-hmm. But like Mekhi Becton murdered the Bucs in the preseason game last week. I don't know if any of you guys caught it, but like he murdered them.
What's up with him? Was like he's not getting played because he's not in like conditioned is what is happening.
His knee's fucked up. The thing with Mekhi Becton is that he's like too big for his own good. He had a really good rookie year. He got hurt, and then he's someone that always struggled with weight. Like he came in as like 6'7", like 370. He ballooned up to like over 400 were some of the reports. But he's like now like in like the best shape of his life. He's pretty much just been trying to find a way to not push his knees to a spot where like he'll be behind schedule by the point of week 1. So they've been trying to like ease him along. But they gave him like reps at right tackle in this preseason game versus the Bucs, and he looked really good. So
it's not great that the Panthers are signing dudes off the street like Brian Burns, and they are giving the Jets O-line major trouble. I mean,
Brian Burns is like an elite pass rusher.
I'm just saying he is very good, but a D line that is signing dudes off the street in August.
They were given.
You mean Justin Houston? You mean Justin Houston?
Justin Houston. Sorry.
Justin Houston. They didn't like Becton wasn't there. Dwayne Brown, who's like their starting left tackle from the Seahawks, like he hasn't been with the team yet. Like they've been starting like rookies and like their second and third stringers.
All right, that's fair.
So that's an issue for sure. That like communication and kind of them coming together could be an issue. But in terms of like the offensive line being garbage right now, it's because a lot of the guys who are going to be there aren't there right now.
Guys, real quick strategy talk. I'm down to go McBride and Knox or Turner, who I think is a real high upside managed guy that could be cut. Yeah, I'm also down to go Richie James and Justin Ross and then cut them after the first look and pick up tight ends on the waiver.
I like that.
I don't think I'm doing that with Justin Ross. Because
I kind of just said something.
There's like no chance that he does anything the first week. Like I think if you're
I don't agree.
Fellas,
He could drop 20 week 1. I don't think there's a 0% chance he does that. And I don't think no one else in the league is going to pick up a tight end on waivers. Let me put it that way. Before the other games have started.
Right.
I kind of just think these both have to be tight ends.
We are going to have the tight end. We're just going to get the free look of the wide receivers to try to secure a win week 1. But
I really want Knox because he's gonna get drafted.
All right, let's just go Knox and McBride then.
But I'd be fine with Knox and Richie James.
Where are you guys at on Cole Turner?
I'm into Cole Turner, but I doubt he gets drafted. So my take would be Knox, Chiefs wide receiver, drop the Chiefs wide receiver for Cole Turner.
Let's go Knox here.
All right, I think you're underestimating. I think McBride for sure gets drafted as well.
I don't think so because they have to. I mean, maybe he does. You're right.
I don't really like McBride that much either.
I do like McBride.
My take was I like Dawson Knox materially more than the rest of the options, and he'll get drafted. So I see it as an opportunity cost. I don't like.
Let's not play around with the Chiefs wideouts. Let's take McBride because I think he's an upside swing.
But you guys like McBride. So I like Cole Turner more than McBride. You guys like McBride?
I think Cole Turner doesn't get drafted. McBride does.
Okay, and then you're saying you're saying Cole Turner comes out, runs 80% of the routes week 1. We just pick him up off waivers, and we hope that he doesn't score a touchdown, and we can.
Or if Logan Thomas is cut, like we pick him up Thursday. We pick him the Thursday night.
Right. Sure.
We might even cut Jameson Williams if we feel like it. He's not going to get scooped right back up
because they're kind of the same bat, right? Like they're both a young tight end with an old dusty tight end who might play almost every snap.
Because Cole Turner has more target competition.
Any thoughts on going kicker here and letting the room decide that tight end? Okay. I was just floating it out there.
For a good kicker,
Ron, where are you at on Turner versus McBride?
Everyone besides Turner.
There's only been one kicker.
Everyone besides
There's only been one kicker.
Yeah. Because
I'm down with Bucker or Evan McPherson.
I'm down with a free lick on Thursday.
Oh, Bucker for the free look. Yeah. Although we're not cutting Bucker either way, so it probably doesn't matter. But sure.
I mean, Daniel Carson is probably a better kicker where you want an offense that can move the ball but not convert in the red zone. But I'm down with Bucker.
Are we fully kicker over tight end? I didn't mean to
No, yeah, I like the kicker play.
Well, I'm kicker, but I'm biased because I want the tight end who's not going to get fucking drafted before our next pick.
Well,
who if we take a kicker here, who the hell is it?
Bucker.
I would do Bucker, yeah.
Yeah, let's go Bucker.
In my heart of hearts, Carlson's a better pick, but ADP, whatever. I just kind of like trying to have a stud at kicker when we are loaded at the other positions. Why not try to beat the field at kicker too?
Also, defense-wise, has Washington gone yet? They have not. I don't know why they don't go in every draft. They get, I don't even know. Is it Josh Dobbs? Is it Clayton Tune? Is it Colt McCoy? One of them.
Yeah, I agree. It does not make
sense. I like Atlanta D2, who gets
who do they play week 1?
Bryce Young.
And then who do they play week 2?
I like the Pittsburgh D2, who doesn't will probably make it back to us, who gets Purdy and then a really cakewalk schedule.
Yeah, that's not the worst. I never want to look at Gus Clayton Tune in the mouth. My take on the Commanders is they get you have to cut them after 2 weeks because they play the Bills week 3. But the first 2 weeks they get the Cardinals, which is obviously the nut matchup of all nut matchups, and then they get the Broncos, who can't block shit.
I think, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to fight anyone on a defense. I like them all. I know that Pitt has a pretty favorable schedule for a while. And that D-line looked pretty legit. They go Steelers, Browns, Raiders, Texans.
Let me just hammer one.
Why have 2 teams taken a backup defense? What's happening in this universe?
I'm telling you, man, the FFPC is going to FFPC.
One team took a backup defense in round 17.
Some people like to. He has 2 QBs too. Some people like to draft and not do waivers. This is a great sign that he's not going to be an active waiver guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that you're right. I think that it's just to cover his other defense's bye week.
Exactly. Yes. Like,
And I thought he was a sharp. That was the guy that started. Like he did Bijan, and then he went like 4 straight receivers, and he took Pitts. I was like,
Yeah,
this
it's actually a
guy's
good
someone
point.
to watch out for.
Team 7. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he played or no.
No,
Team
he's talking
7
about
Team 9. Team 7, I also thought was pretty sharp, and I continue to think he's quite sharp. I love
Team
his
7
entire
played
team.
this really well.
Yeah, there's some other good teams here. I mean, we need like one of ETN or Hall to be league winner, if not both.
Yeah. I mean, we're okay. Like we have a very realistic chance at having VQB1. I think that we have like a very legitimate chance of having 2 top 5 running backs, and we have a viable chance of having the wide receiver 1, or at least a top 5 wide receiver.
Diggs will be around 1,600 plus yards.
Right. And then it's really just a matter of like that big crew of Ayuk, Addison, JSN, Bateman, Tony, Beckham, Mingo, Jameson needs to produce like 2 14-plus point per game wide receivers.
And we for sure have that minimum.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's not impossible. Like Mayer is like an actual smash, and we're playing him in the flex, you know? Like he was getting wideout snaps in the preseason.
Yeah, like this tight end room, like like Musgrave and Mayer are both like very legitimate upside bets. And in the event that they don't get off to a flying start, like I think you can totally start Dawson Knox and be absolutely fine. Like he'll be like the tight end 16 in projections every week.
He's going to be a big red zone target. Like he's going to have his 2 touchdown games here and there.
Yeah, like he'll have weeks that he gets you 2, but he'll have weeks that he gets you 18, which has been Dawson Knox when he was being drafted in round 7. So that's like not actually any different.
The only thing, like if Kincaid had fallen to us in round 9, that would have felt real good.
That would have been so good.
I don't think we can draft him over JSN, who like feels like a league winner down the stretch.
No, I think we had to hope for. Yeah, I would have if we could have gotten Kincaid or Laporta, and then still gotten Bateman, and so basically just turned Kadarius Toney into Kincaid or Laporta. That would have been really nice.
Yeah, like I'm not in love with the Toney pick, but like it feels good unmanaged. Where
it fits the team, man. Like this, we're like all we're doing with this wide receiver group is we're just taking a ton of upside bets, and the collective needs to produce a couple winners. And Tony and Jameson Williams like fit within that.
And I personally really do like having Bateman and OBJ together. I know you were iffy on that, where it's like in the years where Bateman's foot gets re-aggravated, or if OBJ is just like the second alpha, it's like, why not mini insure yourself, you know?
Oh, Trey Palmer, that guy is sharp with a capital S.
Fucking alpha, dude, in a managed league. Let's go.
That guy knows what's up, man.
Michael Wilson on the board? Not that we need to take him, but
Jacob, what's our vibe, dude? If Taylor gets traded, first off, what percent are you putting that at? And B,
60.
And B, who is it? Is it Deion Jackson? Is it Evan Hull? Is it Zach Moss?
Hull. I think that it's going to be Hull and whatever running back comes back in the trade. So
I'm Kansas City defense here for the free look.
Starting running back is Jeff Wilson.
Guys, let's go Chiefs defense. We get the free look, and then we cut them if they score well, and then take a tight end.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah, I'm game.
The Chiefs
these
defense.
These guys are taking kicker defense anyways, like they have to.
I like that call.
Yeah, it could be Deion Jackson too. People are saying Deion. I think it could be Deion Jackson. I don't
definitely
really think
not
it's
Moss.
going to be like Kenyon Drake or something.
I think it's.
Well, it's not going to be Moss in week 1. Moss is probably not. Ross is probably starting on IR.
Oh,
no,
okay.
But I think it's a chance that he is like Jeff Wilson from a couple of years ago, where he just like comes back mid-season.
Yeah, no, it could be Moss. Like
I know Moss broke his arm, guys.
Right. I'm just saying, like, it's not Moss week 1, but it could be Moss eventually.
My casual ass wasn't aware of it.
I don't think that it's going to be Moss though at all.
Cole Turner.
Yeah, in managed for sure.
Is there any other guy?
No, in managed it's him. Like K. Dotton in best ball, Turner and managed.
It's like Jelani Woods is like the only other guy.
No, because Turner's like an easy play. If he runs 80% of the week out, if he runs 80% of the route from week 1, we have something. If he's the clear backup to Logan Thomas, he's immediately cut.
Yeah, he's a great pick and manage. What did you say for percent chance Taylor gets traded?
I think it's above 50%. I think it's like 60%.
And to the Dolphins or what?
Dolphins, I think, are the single most likely, but I would say like, okay, if I'm saying it's a 60% chance it's traded, of that 60, let's give the Dolphins like 60% of the 60. So like 36%, I guess that is. And then I'll give 24% to the field. I think that the Rams are a very possible option. I don't think the Bears are super likely, but I wouldn't rule it out.
The Rams, man. What are the Rams doing?
But the Rams are weird. The Rams do weird stuff. They don't care about picks. They don't care about
McVay's like, we're gonna run our way to the Super Bowl again. Todd Gurley is back.
I saw someone report that the Rams were into him, and I was like, yes, like that totally checks out. Like, I can see that just so fucking clearly. Like, I mean, they were literally 3-4 last year, and they offered 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, and then they were trying to trade for Christian McCaffrey. They don't give a fuck.
Guys, apparently the 11 or 12 hole in our draft just now just commented in the YouTube chat because they were real tight that we took Kendre Miller from them.
No, Chris, that's my guy. Saying so here's the issue. Like this is.
I mean, that comment is ludicrous. Like, what do you?
No, that is insanity.
I know Chris. He's in my chat too, but like, that's not a logical comment.
Like, brother, here's the thing. First of all, a 15th round pick does not ruin your draft regardless, bro. You could draft me in the 15th round and it's fine.
You could literally got Kendre Miller fucking today, and it affects our win equity 1.8%.
That's why I don't. And 2, yes, we took 3 running backs early, but then waiting until round 15 to take another one is like also like more than fine. Like I can't tell if this is a structure thing. Is it a player take? I think it has to be a player take. But dude, there's just no way. There's just no way that we ruined it with Kendre Miller. Oh, he's joking.
He's joking. He's joking.
He was the 11 hole. I'm telling you, man. He wanted Kendre.
Just know I've gotten comments like that before, where it's like I was going off on somebody in the comments, like he was like, "Oh, you took Mark Andrews in the 3rd round. This whole thing's ruined." And it's just like, I mean, he goes in the 3rd. Like I don't understand how it's ruined, but.
You want to recap the team?
Pickett, by the way, 4 for 4 for 86 yards today. Just continues to deal in the preseason.
Who is this? Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Why would they play him again in the preseason? That's a little weird to me.
Because they're rolling, dude. Like they played all the starters. George Pickens, 1 target, 1 catch, 35 yards. Deontay Johnson, 1 target, 1 catch, 33 yards. They're fucking rolling.
People are making a big deal of Josh Downs being in 3 wide receiver sets, but I feel like that was kind of already assumed. Isn't kind of the big battle him versus Pearson 2 wide receiver sets, which feels pretty thin?
He's losing that battle. But yeah.
You want to recap this and get out of here? I like the team a lot, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm down to. Should I read through it? How do you?
Yeah, read through it, Ron. Show is yours.
Service your audio listeners.
Yeah, so let me service the audio listeners here. We went from the 10 spot. We went Diggs, Pollard, Lamar, Etienne, Brees. Just a ton of testosterone here. And then we went Ayuk, Addison, JSN, Bateman, Tony, OBJ, Musgrave, the tight end 1 in fantasy this year. Mingo for like the last 5 weeks probably. Mingo, Jameson Williams, Kendre Miller, Mayer, Knox, Bucker, KC defense, and Cole Turner. Fellas, how do we feel about this team, man?
I feel really good about it personally.
Just raw, unadulterated sex.
Yeah, that's what came to mind for me too.
It's really fun to get a Lamar stack
in the OBJ.
To get a Lamar stack. We didn't
draft a player above 25 after round 2, but we drafted OBJ. But other than that, we just went full on years movement.
I think like it's going to be a discussion what we do if Etienne's a hit and Brees Hall is like hits the ground running. Is like obviously they're filling in our flex, so now we only need to play 3 wide receivers. which is not a bad
One
thing.
of them gets to be Diggs,
Right.
and another
We
gets to
started
be Ayuk.
an hour ago. We were like, who the hell did we start in week 1? Maybe Odell Beckham. And then now we're like, man, it's going to suck when Jordan Addison is the wide receiver 11, but we have to put him on our bench because JSN is the wide receiver 8.
Yeah, like this. No, this could be a legitimate super team. Like if these 3 running backs hit.
Yeah, I love it. I love that we got Pollard to come back to us. Week 13 is the only thing that looks shaky for our playoff odds, but we just have to get a bid.
What's our current week 13 lineup? We don't have a quarterback.
No Lamar,
no quarterback. All of our running backs are fine.
Right.
Our wide receivers are Ayuk,
JSN, Kadarius
Tony, Mingo,
and Jameson Williams. That's why we drafted Jameson Williams, baby.
Yeah, Jameson Williams is going to be there. I mean, we're just going to win total points here pretty easily.
Williams is the guy you need.
I think so.
Ravens.
Yeah, the only one that didn't feel great was the ETN pick, but I think like that the 3-4 turn was tricky where we could have gone like Jacobs or Ramondre over Lamar there, but Lamar wouldn't have made it back. We would have done like 4 straight running backs if we didn't take Lamar there.
Yeah, like I can't imagine Lamar.
It would have had to, it would have had to have been Ramondre or Jacobs, and then Lamar doesn't make it back.
I guess it's Christian Watson, or do we still take ETN?
Maybe Debo.
ETN
if Debo
playoff
go 12.
print is pretty nice. It goes Ravens pace up game, Bucks awful defense, Panthers like good game.
Right, we probably get ETN run. Yeah, you're right. Because probably he takes Jacobs, Lamar, and then we get Debo.
Yeah, no, I mean like
yeah,
I think going Lamar feels good in retrospect. It's like who would the Lamar pick been for you guys? Jacobs?
Jacobs or Ramondre. We'll call it Ramondre. Like it would either have been Lamar Etienne or Ramondre Debo most likely.
But if you were saying Jacobs over Ramondre like hard, I would have been fine with that. Yeah, I view them almost equally. So I'm like, you can twist my arm on those two.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I mean, I don't have a Lamar team, so I love getting one Lamar team. It just feels like it's like they're just such the clear bet to be this year's Eagles as far as like.
Oh, I'm all in on the Ravens this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have another. It's actually kind of funny. Like Ron and I just drafted a team with Lamar, and it was on the NFC, so we were the 3 hole, but you ended up with like all the same pick slots starting in round 3, and it was kind of a similar thing where I think it was that time Jacobs fell to us, so we clicked Jacobs in the 3rd that time over Lamar. And then Lamar fell to us in the 4th. So we ended up with Jacobs, Lamar, which kind of similar to Lamar Etienne. And then we got Breece Hall in the 5th. We got JSN 7-10. So we just drafted the same team again. But.
We're just playing the hits.
Ron, how do you do these thick highlights on your thumbnails around the players, around our faces?
I gotta definitely I have to up my thumbnail game if I'm being honest, dude. I do them all in PowerPoint, man. I do them all in PowerPoint. I
use Microsoft Paint for a while.
I throw my stuff into remove.bg. It cuts around the outside. I bring it back, and then I do like format image, and then it has like glow. It's called glow on PowerPoint, and I just put the transparency to 0. It's a whole thing. Thank you.
Good. Give yourself credit here.
You're killing the game, Stuart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think we whether we're gonna cut the Butker and the Chiefs D will depend on how strong we perceive the other team to be that we're playing week 1 and how much they score. And then we're gonna be aggressive on waivers potentially where like I want to hold on to Jameson Williams, and I think our wide receiver room is strong enough that we're going to find the league winners. But, if someone emerges, we'll be aggressive. And at running back, too, like we could cut a wide out for a 5th running back if Breece is like a little bit slower than we prefer.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like, and this plays into like Bob Bibbs saying dropping 9 wide receivers feels like overkill. I mean, yeah, but we're just not going to be rostering 9 wide receivers for most of the season. It's just like, look at the wide receivers we drafted, right? Like we could have been taking Cortland Suttons and Mike Evanses and stuff, and then we would draft less wide receivers, but we didn't. We took like 1 million rookies and year 2 and year 3 guys. So I assume by week 6 we'll have a couple guys we're pumped to start every week, and we have a couple guys we're fucking cutting. So that's and then we'll fill those spots with other considerations.
Let me ask you one question before we get out of here. Gut feel: Tony and OBJ, are they cut or do they ride it out on our team? Ron, you first.
I think I feel better about OBJ. I don't know, just because it feels like OBJ. Like I would have I would want to hold on to OBJ more just because we have Lamar, just in case like if he comes up down the stretch and goes crazy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, or if like Andrews gets hurt.
I feel like OBJ is like 90-10 we're cutting, because I feel like we're gonna play him a little bit maybe in the first couple of weeks, and then we're gonna be like, all right, dude, you served your purpose. See you later.
I don't think we're gonna play him unless we get like real positive signs. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna be fine enough at wideout with Diggs, Ayuk, Addison, JSN, plus someone else, Mingo or Bateman, and then we're gonna be like, all right, like if Andrews gets hurt though, or Flowers, like, and OBJ doesn't look bad, like he doesn't look like that bad, right. You know?
Yeah.
Because like OBJ was good on the Rams, man. Like he was on his way to becoming Super Bowl MVP before he got hurt, and then got paid $15 million.
Yeah, I think we're cutting OBJ. Tony's
getting cut.
Tony
will be a free agent in real life.
Tony's in our lineup in the sprint, man. That's happening. Also, I've had another commenter you need to ban. Michael just asked if we'd feel better if we had swapped out. At first, I thought he was going to say something like sharp. I thought he was going to be like, would you feel better if you did Garrett Wilson in the second, and then you like just drafted the exact same team and you still have ETN and Breece Hall? But he was like, no, what if you drafted Joe Mixon in the third or fourth? I would feel worse about our team if we drafted Joe Mixon in the eighth.
No, I would never snipe a man trying to do a Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon start.
Yeah, that's why we left him up there.
That's true. I had to leave him there.
But no, I think it's a legit discussion going Garrett Wilson over Tony Pollard. I just feel good about Pollard.
Yeah, I feel like this team would be totally fine in a Garrett Wilson universe, but of all of the possible alternate universes in which we took Garrett Wilson in the second round, none of them involved Joe Mixon.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not a single one.
Yeah,
and we would have built way differently. It's like it's kind of fun how we built, and it feels really good that we took advantage of the fear of JSN, who like I'm not afraid of at all, and so like
I'm not afraid.
The room being afraid, like JSN was going at the 5-6 before that wrist injury. Now we get him at the 8th, and to get Addison there in the 7th too, with the tight end getting pushed up, like feels like a smash if we're not going to secure a Garrett Wilson in the second, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I feel great. And it's like my issue is on some of the JSN teams we've taken, and this was even before the injury, it was kind of tough because I always be taking them as part of wide receiver early builds. So I'd usually only want like 6 wide receivers. Then I'd be like, like Ron and I kind of got stuck in this where we started a really wide receiver heavy team and then we took JSN. But then we were like, we also kind of need Zay Jones on this fucking team because I don't know who we're going to start in week 1.
Yeah.
And then it's like this problem where you need extra running backs, but you also need to cover JSN. But here, like it just blends them in easily because we're already going to draft 1 million wide receivers.
All right, fellas. I do appreciate you guys coming on, splitting this team. Should be a lot of fun to look at over these next few weeks. I'll probably show it on the channel if it's doing well or something. We'll see. If it's not, then I'll just forget this ever happened.
Do we need to upgrade our team name? Can we get the chat to weigh in on that?
No, definitely we'll upgrade the team name. We'll definitely upgrade the team name.
Stewart plus LJ week.
Week, yeah.
You guys have any?
Thanks for having us, Ron.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you guys have anything you want to promo, anything coming up, anything my viewers should be looking for, here you go.
Yeah, I think if your viewers don't know by now that I have a Substack called Thinking About Thinking, then I would surprise me.
I referenced it in yesterday's video again.
There. Sorry?
I said I referenced it in yesterday's video again.
Oh, look at that. But you can find my work there. I just released a 3-piece on what I called the faces of the dead zone of the information age in fantasy football. And one of them we picked today, Travis Etienne. So I talked about 5 running backs. It was all free. It's exceedingly long, but feel free to read it in multiple parts. Go check that out. I think this might be one of the last fully free articles I do on the site before the season. So I'm super excited to share that with you guys.
What are you doing, Jake? Have you traveled in the world and just writing?
I literally am. Yeah, I was in Ireland for a couple of weeks and I was writing. Now I'm back in Vancouver. I leave for my hometown tomorrow morning of Winnipeg. I'll be there for 4 or 5 days. Then I'm going to Chicago, and then I'm back to Vancouver for a couple of days, and then I'm heading out to Vegas for a couple live mains.
Fun, man. For me, you can just catch me on Twitter at @JustLiam. I have a YouTube too, Liam Murphy. That's all I got.
Definitely check that out. But I appreciate everybody's time, and I will see you guys in the next one.